Hey, if you want to know the number one thing that will dramatically affect your health and your sexual performance, then stay tuned because today I'm going to break down whole plant-based diets, why you should use it, what it is, and why it is so effective. And hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years I've been a sexual performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And of course I've done a ton of research, but we keep leading back to this one thing. Today, what I'm specifically talking about is what a whole plant-based diet is, how is that different from vegan and vegetarian, why you should use it, and why the Western diet will never work. And also, I'm going to talk about how quickly you will see those results. And as a bonus, I'm going to explain the food matrix to you. Yes, Neo. We're going to explain the food matrix. And I will be giving a webinar coming soon talking about testosterone. The title of the webinar series is How to Get Harder Erections Naturally. It's going to have a ton of information. It's going to go way deeper than what I can do in these 10-minute videos, but please sign up for that below. And of course, if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you can get some more of this information. And what I'm going to do is break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. All right, let's jump into it. So a whole plant-based diet, what is that? Well, it's just like what it sounds like. It's whole plants. You want to get as close to the source of the plant as possible. There's no processed plants, and obviously there's no meats involved. And this is what makes it different from being a vegan. A vegan will go ahead and eat processed plants. So we're talking about potato chips. I did a video talking about how, they have eggs that are made out of mung bean and how they have different products that are coming online. These are vegan products. They're plant-based. They're better than eating meat, but they're still plant-based. And you may have heard of vegetarians. Obviously, the difference between a vegan and a vegetarian is that vegetarians, though plant-based, they will eat eggs and dairy. And I've done a video where I talked about how they did a study with young boys, had them drink milk, and their testosterone dropped within an hour. So that's not a good idea. Now, obviously I'm about to talk about some meats, and a lot of guys are like, whole plant-based, man, I don't know if I could do that. Let me go ahead and break that down to you. But first I want to say that I used to eat 200 animals a month. Pretty easy to do, sausage, egg biscuit, chicken sandwich for lunch, and then 4 wings and shrimp fried rice for dinner. That's about 10 right there. I myself have personally committed chicken genocide. I have taken out countries of chicken, but that was before I knew better. So let me go ahead and break down the meat myths. All protein comes from plants, and animals are a horrible substitute for getting to protein. Plants have all the amino acids that you need in varying amounts. And people say, well, what about the B12? B12 is a fungus that covers the entire earth. The animals eat the grass or whatever, they're getting it into their system, and then you eat it from them. That's not necessary. You can just eat the whole plant and you'll get the B12 in there, and you only need 2 nanograms. So yeah, every nutrient that you need are in plants. People will say like, oh, you need omega-3 fatty acids from, the salmon. It's like, nah, you can get that from walnuts, hemp seed, flax seed. And here's just something to think about. Eating flesh to gain or keep flesh makes as much sense as eating hair to grow more hair. Because if that was true, I'm working on my hairline. Oh Lord. All right, and this is very important because I hear people say this all the time and it irritates me. Humans are not carnivores or omnivores. I want to break down exactly why so we don't have to have this conversation anymore. So let's talk about why you should get into a whole plant-based diet. And it's basically because if you think of yourself as an energy unit, from a 3,000 foot view, you got animals and you have humans, and as an energy unit, you have to consume more energy and hopefully efficiently remove waste. You do those correctly, you have a healthy life. The more energy you consume, the healthier you are. The more efficiently you remove waste from your body, the more healthy you are. Now here's about going back to the carnivores. Carnivores and omnivores eat meat alive. It's recently killed. They're getting the energy from that animal. You as a human cannot do that. As soon as you get that blood into your mouth, well, you wouldn't even be able to get through the fur, but as soon as you get the blood into your mouth, game over. It doesn't work. Our energy has to come from plants. Their energy has to come from other animals. That's just the way it works. So the big difference is humans have to kill the animals in order to eat it. In other words, you're eating death. When you're eating meat, you're eating death. Now, obviously, you can do this for a long time. I did my chicken genocide and I lived. However, I had a whole bunch of issues, shoulder issues, knee issues, dandruff, all types of different issues. As soon as I started coming off of that, all those issues went away. Eating death contaminates the body because the waste cannot leave efficiently. So you eat death, you eat the animal, chicken, beef, whatever, and parts of it stays in your body. Your body turns everything else into you. When you eat death, it's not as efficient with getting rid of it. And though you're getting some energy, you're losing a lot more. Getting live energy from whole plants gives you energy. Now, there is no physical reason to eat meat. Let me repeat that. No physical reason to eat meat. It's all psychological. It's like, oh, mommy made this and, you know, the food stop is right there. And I mean, literally meat is cheaper than vegetables, which is weird. And I'm going to get to that in a second. All right. I'm about to break some really interesting, useful, insightful information down to you. You probably never heard this before or heard it in this way. Can't go into it deep. We will go into it deep in the webinar series, but let's go. First thing, men give life, women give birth. Repeat that. Men give life, women give birth. So as men, we have an awesome responsibility because we literally only get one shot at passing on to our children. So, you know, you want your sperm, you want you to be as healthy as possible so you can pass on the best of your health to your children. So this is how it all shakes out. Think about this. Women can have sex and be completely out of shape. They call it BBWs. Men cannot have sex when they are completely out of shape. I mean, you know, you may have some guys that are like, well, he looks like he's 400 pounds and they had a baby. Yeah, that was then. That window is closing rapidly. So if you're consuming death, that means you can't give life. If you're dying, you can't give life. So consuming death is going to slowly over time take away your power of giving life. And before that, it's going to take over your power to have an erection. So for a lot of guys, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm exercising, it's like you have to look at the food because you're eating it every day. If you're eating death, then of course it's not going to work out well. It's death. And just do a quick thought exercise. Replace any word, replace the word animal, whether it's chicken or beef or pork or whatever you want to call it. Replace that with death. And listen to the things that people say about it, such as death helps you grow strong muscles. You need death for testosterone. Death, that's what real men eat. Yeah, it sounds disgusting to weird to like, why are we doing this? So, eat death painfully and die. That's exactly what's happened. It's harsh. My nephew saw this t-shirt, he's like, that's harsh, but true. And it is harsh, but true. When I say you're going to die painfully, that's because eating death will lead to cancer, hypertension, heart attack, stroke, erectile dysfunction, lupus, a bunch of circulatory diseases. Eating energy can actually cure you of all these diseases. I know. Yeah, your doctor never said that one, huh? And this is even funnier. Scientists cannot figure out why the sperm count around the world is going down. And it's like, is anyone paying attention to the fact that we're eating death? I think that would be a good one. All right, so what happens when you go on a whole plant-based diet? You reverse your circulatory diseases. I'm going to show you some proof of that in a second. You can eat as much whole plants as you want to. And as far as like how long it takes, in 3 weeks on a whole plant diet, your inflammation levels will go down by 28%, which is significant. So you have more blood flow to your penis and other things. And even you look through the comment sections for the videos, guys in the comment section saying, yeah, I just going off of the fruits and vegetables that I recommended have said, yeah, I just started eating spinach and arugula. And within 1 week, I could tell the difference, you know, in performance and everything. So yeah, it can be a lot quicker. Now, when it comes to going whole plant, cutting out meat, a lot of people say, well, how much weight do you lose? it's still, your body still functions off of volume and exercise. So what are you consuming and what are you getting rid of in terms of waste? Here's the great thing. When you're on a whole plant-based diet, you have more energy. You don't get injured as often. You don't feel sore as often. So you're able to do more workouts. And not only that, you have so much more energy. You can work out for longer and not really feel it. I did my 50 rounds of high intensity interval training this morning. Yeah, that would have been hard before. Now it's easier, much easier. All right, let's go ahead and break down that food matrix right quick. And really just comes down to this. We've just been taught to believe that we're supposed to eat meat. We have meat at every meal, death at every meal. And that's because it costs a lot to create animals, to farm them, to slaughter them, to get them packaged and get them all over. It costs a lot of money. So the people who are doing this are making a lot of money because all of us are running around eating all this meat. And they'll say at the same time, well, there's such things as food deserts. It's like, there's, places in inner cities or places in rural areas where you can't get to food. It's like, is there grass growing? If there's grass growing, you can plant something. And not only that, the plants, when you're dealing with a garden, you're dealing with the issue of controlling the output that the fruits and vegetables are giving you. They're going to give you too much. Every person that you know with a garden is eventually going to come up to you and say, hey, you want some tomatoes? Because we just got like a bunch of them left. So yeah, that's the matrix. We've been taught to believe that we're supposed to eat this meat and we can't create the food itself when we are literally on the earth. And really quick, I want you to check out this chart. This shows when Norway was invaded by the Nazis. The Nazis came in and said, hey, we're taking all the meat for ourselves so we can do our war type stuff. And you look at a chart of their circulatory diseases, it has been going up because they were eating meat. As soon as the Nazis took it all, it plummeted. And as soon as the Nazis got defeated and left, it started going back up again. So we had a war that literally showed us that not eating meat makes you healthier. Imagine that, not eating death makes you healthier. So in conclusion, whole plant-based diet is the best diet for you to get energy and to cure a whole bunch of issues. There is no physical reason to eat meat. The effects on your erections from going to this diet plan can be as fast as a week. Hey, and by the way, if you want to save the planet, just go ahead and plant your own food. Join a co-op. Something like that. It'll help. So, question of the day, do you think you can get to a whole plant-based diet? As I always say, you have to walk away from crazy. Being taught to believe that you should eat death is crazy. So it's something that, it's been around your life for a long time. I understand the process of moving away. It's taken me 2 to 3 years to be like, okay, I'm done, period. But I got information like this and it just made it easier to make up my mind. And as always, leave comments below. Please remember that we'll be doing a webinar. Go down below and sign up for that so you can get this information. We're going to go deep into it. And as always, if you like what you heard, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, and make sure to check out some of the other videos we have around here. This is Uncle B saying, get your game up. Peace out.